It's time to give you an update on my May garden and greenhouse. Yeah, stay tuned. Hello folks, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host Jerry Hansen. I need to give you guys an update on what's going on in the garden this May. We're in the middle of May and we've got a lot. I've been really busy. I've been really busy. With the warmer weather that's descended on us and the cooler nights, I went ahead and started opening up the windows to the greenhouse during the day and then closing them at night and paying special attention to the forecast and if we're going to have frost or whatever. So when we got beyond the frost period, Mother's Day is behind us, and now I want to really take advantage of the nice weather and harden in my plants and get ready to start planting them in the garden beds. So I moved all my plants outdoors. I'm going to be opening up all the windows in the greenhouse and just let the greenhouse air through. I do have to purchase a sunscreen that goes across the front to keep it from getting too hot in the greenhouse, because there's certain things I still want to grow in the greenhouse. I got to figure out what I can do because I'm new to greenhouse growing. But this is what my greenhouse looks like now, pretty empty. I spent this afternoon moving everything outdoors. We're not going to have too bad of weather. So I'll go ahead and leave them out tonight and get them hardened in. So as you can see, I moved my tubs out to a bed in which I haven't planted anything in, except we do have peas growing along the trellises here, and they have really taken off. Here I have 8 tubs of tomato plants. I just planted tomatoes. I'll be giving them away as gifts and selling them. And I'm only going to be growing maybe 8 tomato plants myself here on the homestead because that's all we're going to use. And the rest of it we're just going to give away and sell. Over here I have 3 tubs of Swiss chard, and I have some thyme growing. And I also have some parsley. I have 3 pots of parsley growing, 2 pots of thyme. Over here we've got broccoli, 3 tubs of broccoli. Right here I have pumpkin seeds that I started. And I've already got a destination for the pumpkin. They're going back up there in the far corner of the garden. That will be the pumpkin patch. This big stuff right here, this is yellow squash. This is I love yellow squash, and these 2, yellow squash, and then I have some flowers here. Of course I have some dill for my dill pickles, but the yellow squash is towards the center of the garden in that half. So we got pumpkins and yellow squash. But these are zucchini, and my zucchini will go right down the middle of the garden and kind of be trellised up if I can do it. I may just give up on the trellises and just let them just spread out over the ground. So this whole area will be just squash. That whole 25% of my garden, nothing but squash. Since I'm growing dill, I've got my cucumbers started. I did plant some cucumbers over here, but we had a late frost, which has surprised us. I have a few hanger-oners, but I started seed right away, and we're going to go ahead and transfer these over here. And so these 2 trellises here on each side will be nothing but cucumber growing up the trellises. By the way, these cucumbers are Dollar Tree seed. yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they come out. Right here I have my garlic. I'll be taking my, ooh, look at this. Where'd you go? There's a little green tree frog in there. Anyway, he's good for the bugs. But then I've got my onion sets, white onions, purple onions, yellow onions. And then these are the seeds I started, yellow onion seeds I started, and that's how big they've gotten. And then right here I have some flowers, and then over here I have some more Swiss chard and flowers. In these tubs I have sweet peppers and a variety of, I got 3 different variety of hot peppers. I also have some more, I have fennel here, thyme, I got some more peppers, and so we're going to be planting all these in the garden. And a couple of months ago I planted some kale. I've got 2 rows of kale here. Lettuce did not come up, but I do have 2 tubs of lettuce we're going to transplant over here. Spinach is coming up finally. I got one that's bolted, it's doing well. My cabbage is growing, and I do have some peas growing down there in the end, and a little bit of carrots here. So the vegetables, I'm just going to start from seed and sow directly into the ground, are mainly my root crops, like my beets, my turnips, my radishes, rutabagas. We're going to start those in the ground and get those going in some of the beds. I'll be busy the next couple of days planting and moving everything into their appropriate locations and getting my irrigation and timer system going. But what's going to help protect the plants is my Scarecrow system I've developed. Over here on my grapevine, I put a little snake, a rubber snake. I'm going to go down and purchase some more and throw them around the garden on the ground, but that'll hopefully deter the birds from eating my grapes. Up on the fence post over there is an owl with an articulating head, and the wind will blow the head in different directions. And I have not noticed any varmint in my garden at all this year. I don't know if it's because of the snake, the owl, or my buddy Sam Squatch here. He's keeping my livestock out of the garden because the chickens like to come into the garden and scratch around. They're terrified of him, and I do move them around the garden from place to place. For those of you who haven't seen the show, this is just, all this is a Bigfoot costume I purchased on eBay, and then I purchased this mannequin that the Bigfoot costume goes over, and the mannequin is, he articulates, and so you can move him around in different positions. So yeah, Yeti is scary. Now I've ordered yet another scarecrow, and I will feature him in an upcoming video, and he is another aspect to my garden to try to keep creatures out of my garden. He'll be arriving probably at the end of the week, so I will introduce that scarecrow to you once it arrives. Another helpful tool for my garden, yeah. You see all these blooms? Well, that's the fruit. The plants need fertilized, and to help me with fertilization, I have a beehive back here in the corner of my garden. A bit eccentric, I went down to Hobby Lobby and got this little welcome bee sign. I love it. And then on the entrance of the beehive, I have this little honeybee with a fork. Isn't he cute? Anyway, this is a flow hive. The one chamber is a flow hive. You can see the bees through this little side window just working the honeycomb, the specialized honeycomb where I can extract the honey. And then, man, look at them work. Now there's also a back panel. I can take it off and I'll let you guys see. If you look very carefully, you can see between the frames, there's a lot of activity. Virtually every frame is being worked by honeybees right now. every single frame. And what's nice about this beehive is whatever nectar is flowing, that's what the bees are collecting, that particular nectar that's in season right now, and putting it into that frame. So when I go extract the honey, it'll be a specialized honey, or if you will, gourmet honey, because it's specialized to that particular nectar that's flowing right now. Unlike when you take all the honeycomb, collect them together, put them through your centrifuge and spin the honey out, and all the honey just blends together and you have just an interesting flavor. It's a concoction of all the nectars that are in the area, and it's all the honey. But this will be more of a, I don't know, I've never tried it before, I'm anxious to try it, but more of a fine honey that is specific to what, like I said, whatever nectar that's flowing. But my bees in the garden are best place to have them, back here in the corner of the garden, and they will be delegated with the task of pollinating all of my plants as they bloom. Well, that's it for my mid-May garden tour. Lots of activity going on. There's going to be a lot I got to do behind the scenes. I'll bring you guys back again once my new kite comes in. That's what it is. It's a Scarecrow kite. And we're going to go ahead and have the plants all in their places. And we'll go ahead and just let you see the garden as I have everything set out and planted. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm in the Homestead Garden Series. Please stay tuned to new videos as I do produce them and upload them. You could do that by subscribing, then clicking that bell icon. That'll alert you to the new videos. And also, please give us a thumbs up, like the show. If you really enjoyed the show, leave a comment and let me know. And also, if you have any tips or hints or tricks on gardening, please let me know. I love to learn from my viewers and the University of YouTube. We're all professors here. Really. And so please be kind and always be safe. Hey, we'll see you guys in the next adventure. Bye-bye now.